All right. Hello and good afternoon, everybody. This is Dr. Phil Dieter again on your Cal Cairo live broadcast. This is my second time this week. I'm starting to get used to this. This is getting to be a habit for us. So looking forward to bringing you some more information today of high value. Like I said last night at a district event that we had in Santa Clara, there's no replacement for being in the room or being on the broadcast. This is where you get to feel the energy. This is where you get to feel the vibe. The information has context around it. You can pop questions in the chat if you need to. You can interact with people. That's the real juice that's in the squeeze when it comes to events in an organization like this, because we are trying to do everything we can to support individual chiropractors throughout the state and provide them a platform or a place that they can call home, and have that kind of connection, have that kind of mentorship. A couple of quick announcements before we get going today. We have our PI for All seminar coming up June 21st. That is just about 10 short days away. That will be at the Huntington Beach, right there on Huntington Beach, right on the beach. It's a beautiful location. I know the venue, like everyone's told me, looks costly, or it is costly, but I think it's one of those venues that you won't regret paying for if you check it out online and see the proximity of the beach. We're trying to bring you good locations, good venues where you can utilize this as a good write-off for educational purposes and get a little bit of a vacation out of it, and maybe bring your family, enjoy the property, that kind of thing, as well as the content, as well as the networking, all of that kind of thing. So hopefully that's something that you guys are appreciating. But, let us know either way. If you want us to find other venues that aren't as costly and that kind of thing too, we can always do that. I don't know if the experience will be the same, but I guess then we'll just have the same old kind of information like every other continuing education provider has. So other than that, we have our fall conference coming up in Disneyland, August 28th. If you want to get in on that room block, I would act soon. Those are going to fill up fast. You're not going to be able to have the opportunity to stay at the Disneyland Hotel for this kind of price. Probably again, obviously everything goes up. And I can remember when I went to my first Cal Cairo conference at the Grand Californian. That was an incredible experience, incredible property. Again, great lineup coming at you. Dr. Dan Murphy, Dr. Brad Glowacki. Those are some speakers that, have international appeal. So hopefully you'll take an opportunity to join us there. Looking forward to having more fun, just like we did at our pediatric conference a little over a week ago, and trying to build that community of support for you guys. So without any further ado, I want to bring today's guest on. Today's guest is attorney Marc Lazarus. Marc has been a phenomenal supporter of our association. He's an attorney that works in the PI world. We've been trying to bring some PI content on here in preparation or anticipation of the PI for All event coming up just 10 days from now. So I wanted to bring Marc on here. He so generously offered to sponsor the broadcast and help us give away some money, or try to give away some money today. But why don't you introduce yourself just quickly, Marc, and then we'll get started.
Thanks, Doctor. Appreciate it. Hi, I'm Marc Lazarus. I'm a personal injury attorney. I've been working as a personal injury attorney for the past 25 years. I've handled thousands of, well, I don't know about myself. My firm has handled thousands of cases.
Sure.
I've been involved in at least hundreds of them. And I've tried a couple dozen cases. My largest verdict was about 8 figures. I have been blessed to be around some really positive and wonderful treaters who have done so great for our clients, and has helped to build them back to what they were before, and also help them to get great recoveries. And it's a really good collaborative relationship, having good medical providers and good attorneys working for the same purpose, the same cause, to help the client get healthy and to get compensated fairly.
That's the message that I keep hearing loud and clear, and I think if you're a new practitioner joining us or, just someone that's looking to get involved in more PI work, that's the key word that I keep hearing about, the collaboration and that type of thing. So, but I want to dive into the content because I think today's information is super important about deposition. So I know you have a PowerPoint presentation that you wanted to put up on the screen. Why don't you go ahead and share your screen and I'll get it so that everybody can see who we are and your presentation at the same time. And we can start working through the content today.
Okay, let's see. Select tab to share.
Yep. Should come up fairly easy for you.
Yeah.
If not, I can always help you.
I pressed the share button. I just don't know what to press next. There's a screen beyond that.
And does it have your presentation on it?
Does that
there
work?
You go. There you go. Now we got you.
Oh, outstanding.
There you go.
Groovy.
All right. Now we can see your presentation and we can see you. And
all right. Well, thanks, guys. A privilege to be here. So there's a big experience I want to share that I don't want anybody to have to go through. Once upon a time, I was in trial, and it was a case involving a person who was injured on the job. So they had a crossover of both a work comp claim and a personal injury claim. And their work comp carrier provided them with some care. And the PI case was because there was negligence on the part of someone other than the employer. As we know, that workers' comp is an exclusive remedy against the employer, so you can't sue the employer for a third-party case. So we went after the subcontractor who caused an injury to a different construction worker. Two different companies were on the scene. And what happened was an air conditioning unit fell and struck a guy in the shoulder and caused shoulder and neck injuries. Among the providers were surgeons, orthos, and a chiropractor. And the chiropractor had only seen the patient a couple of times, and really it wasn't a good connection. But we, of course, were aware of it, and we went forward, and it was all going normal. Defense counsel was not a scrupulous person and never noticed the deposition of this particular chiropractic doctor, but instead picked up the phone, called this doctor, and started to work behind the scenes with this doctor, and didn't have a HIPAA authorization, didn't have a lien that had authority to allow that attorney to speak to them, didn't subpoena this person, didn't take a deposition, but they spoke to each other as if there were no HIPAA laws. So then the testimony came up in trial. And as this doctor was saying things that were inconsistent with the injuries that were objective and our client had sustained, at the end of his testimony, the first thing I asked was, do you have a HIPAA authorization to speak with this attorney? No. Do you have an authorization executed by my client allowing you to do so? No. Did you answer a subpoena? No. Were you deposed? No. So counsel just called you and asked you all these questions, and you gave all this information just that you testified about. Next thing you know, judge stops the trial. We go into the hallway, and he has now been advised to exercise his Fifth Amendment right to not answer any more of my questions because he had definitely violated criminal laws having to do with the release of information of a patient. So the takeaway is, guys, even if you have a patient that doesn't really connect with you, and you have some feelings about that patient and you want to express them, please do so in a way that is consistent with your duties, obligations, professional liability, because if you do so if you forget and you let your guard down, you too could find yourself in a position where you don't want to talk anymore in front of anyone because it is to your detriment. So we're going to talk a little bit about how to avoid that. So I'm Marc Lazarus. I'm a personal injury attorney. I went to Cal State Northridge. I went to Chapman Law School. I have taught at UCI. I have been practicing for over 25 years now. I've done a couple dozen jury trials, several bench trials. The difference between a jury trial and a bench trial is just a judge who decides it, kind of like an arbitration. Hundreds of arbitrations and mediations. I've had over 9 figures in recoveries myself. A couple thousand depositions. I think it's closer to 2,500. Our firm is proud. We are continually top rated. And there's my personal cell phone, which I think is really important whenever you're working with anybody, to talk to the decision makers, the people who are very invested. Although I have 30 people here at my office, anybody and everybody has my cell phone and is a wonderful direct communication. So always have that kind of relationship with the folks you work with. So I'm going to ask a question of the audience.
All right.
Anybody know how long a deposition can go on for? Is there a time limit? There's a time limit. Does anybody know what it is?
I do not.
Okay. It's actually, there didn't used to be. It's only came
Let's
down
see,
in the
let's
last.
see what the chat says. Let's see what the chat says, Mark. If any comments,
I
I'm
hope this-
gonna. My guess is either it's got to be 30 minutes or an hour. 30 minutes or an
Yes.
hour. I guess we could do higher or lower. We could try to do higher or lower, like Price is Right or something.
All right. Let's
That
say.
means I'm Bob Barker. So, I got 60 minutes. Sharon Bruce says 60 minutes. Okay.
Nice.
Let's just see if we get any more comments in the chat real quick. But not seeing any. So, all right. I got minimum 1 hour. Minimum 1 hour.
Daniel says 1 hour.
TJ
12
3
hours.
Oh man, this is like Price is Right.
Yep.
Whoever wins the show, go in the showcase showdown. Let's do it.
I'm glad I brought this up. Okay. In 2013, the law changed. It used to not have a limit, but in 2013, it became a 7-hour limit on the record.
Wow.
You used to be able to take depositions for days. Honestly, it was just ridiculous. But then someone got reasonably smart and said, we're putting a cap on this. And
looks like my buddy TJ won with 3 hours because Ben
actually
said 12, but that 12 means he went over. So
Dr.
TJ's
Tucker got
going
the
to
5.
showcase showdown. Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Tucker got 5. I think he's the closest.
Oh, okay.
So,
I missed that one. All right.
That is.
Casey can't win. He's on the board. So
I got to tell you, I was so happy when they actually created a limit because people became more efficient. It used to be such a billable event for defense counsels because obviously plaintiffs work on accomplishments, defense work on the hour, and they would just run on and on and on, and it would be so wasteful of resources and time.
Sure.
So, in fact, the way our industry has been established back in the olden days, law firms didn't charge by the hour; they charged by the word, and that's why you see such long, verbose documents. Instead of saying, "I will enter an agreement," is the party of the first part will agree to the party of the second part's conditions based on the following parameter. Is because they got paid by the word, and it was such a detriment to our industry for the generations. So don't be afraid to be direct and cut around all that. So first thing I want to talk about with depositions, guys, you guys are incredibly qualified human beings for what you do. So when you start a deposition, always focus for a good amount of time on your qualifications. The chiropractic industries, expectations in school and what they have to study is beyond that of most doctors when it comes to orthopedic injuries. The things that you guys cover, whether it's radiology, biomechanics, biology, you guys know so much, and yet you don't focus on that enough. So we always tell doctors before a deposition, let's go through your CV. Let's talk about your education. Let's talk about your experience, why you know so much about the human body, the anatomy, and how you are so qualified to talk about these particular topics and how you've taken care of patients. Focus on that as a beginning. Gain that credibility from the outset, right out of the gate, and you will feel like you are where you need to be. Also, do me a favor. Stay in your lane. You guys are wonderful at what you do. But when you start getting into things like allergies, asthma, weird stuff, it takes away from the focus of the orthopedic injuries that you guys are taking care of. Yeah, you guys can handle whatever you handle, but that's not the focus in your depositions. When you're talking about someone who's been injured and they've come to you with either sprains, strains, or disc injuries, or subluxations, or anything that they have, to start going into, well, I'm not only an expert in this, I also do this, this, and this. Focus, stay in that really strong lane with a great education, great qualifications. Be that person who just leads the area, the expertise in that lane, please. And then if they ask you about things like accident reconstruction, yeah, some people have that, but if that is a side thing, unless you've been retained to do an accident reconstruction, you've done the studies, you've done the math, you have the information, try to stay focused on what it is that you're there for. Now, we'll talk about this a little bit more versus recipient versus expert. There will be some areas where some people are actually retained to talk about both medical and bio and accident recon. That's different. I'm talking about if you are a treater, you've been brought into a case and you're asked about the care and the injuries, the focus should be on that specifically.
This is so great already. I could tell this is a needed topic, because like you said, you must have been around chiropractors a while, because we are weird. We believe in like the body's ability to heal itself and stuff like that. But it's a good reminder when we're dealing with these kind of cases. This is the medical world, right? The medical legal world. So keep that in mind. You can do all that other stuff that's great, but when you're in this world, make sure you're paying attention to the medical legal guidelines, right? So, but I'll let you keep going.
Oh, no, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Doc. And you guys do. And I actually love that you guys try to do things in a way that is the least invasive, the most helpful, the most organic, the most in tune. It is a very old, very great method of taking care of people and a wonderful approach. So I'm not discounting that. I do think you should focus on that. So anyways, one thing that comes up in depositions that sometimes people get squeamish about, so I want to talk about this also right out of the gate, the word referral. A lot of times I like to try and make it sound insidious. It's not, okay? But I would like you to focus on reframing. Reframe the word referral to the word help. Do you take referrals? Do you take referrals from patients from the attorney? I like to use the word refer. I would just be straight up because they're trying to make it sound like you're doing something that you ought not to. Really, what you're doing is you're helping. I understand that attorneys help injured people obtain medical care and sometimes provide our name because we are conveniently close by and provide immediate relief. It's the same question. It's the same answer. You're holding your head up. You're proud. You're telling them the truth. You don't have to say, well, yeah, it's not that we refer. We're helping. And we're doing what needs to be done for somebody who's been put into a circumstance they didn't ask for and they don't want to be in. And we're the resource, and we should be the resource. Do you have a relationship with the patient's attorney? Well, we all have a business relationship like any other vendor. I get vendors in here for all kinds of things, as do you guys. It's okay to have a relationship. Be open about it. Do you want to call it social? You can call whatever you want. We have a business relationship. I met this person because we do the same kind of work and we're helping people, and I find them to do very good, very solid work. Okay, wonderful. I'm sure you guys have encountered those questions if you've been in depositions. How many cases have you had with counsel's office? Be honest. There's nothing to hide. Okay. You've handled patients for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. One relationship with one law firm is not going to define your experience as a medical provider. In fact, it's probably a very, very minuscule percentage. Yeah, we've had 10 cases together. We've had 12 cases, 15, 20. We've had 2. And in our experience, I find them to do their jobs very well. Or, you know what? Wish it could be better. Be honest, you know? Do you refer cases to the patient's counsel? We sometimes help patients find legal representation. It's the same answers. You want to be proud to hold your head up. You want to be able to reframe it because don't let them define you. You define you. Okay. Now, this is the part, the easy, fun part that I like so much. Every deposition has 6 answers, and I'm betting a couple of you guys know a couple right off the bat. Anybody want to give me a couple of definite answers on this list? I'm sure there's a few out there because I know a couple people have heard this.
Well, yes, right? We would say
Yes is the
yes,
first
maybe
one.
no.
No, absolutely.
Okay, we're on a roll. We're on a roll.
Yeah. How about I don't know? I don't know
know.
is your friend. Don't guess stuff, man. If you don't know, don't be afraid to say, I don't know. And if you used to know, it's okay if you don't remember. Just don't guess. Stick to your knowledge. One of the things I like a lot is I don't understand the question. Can you please rephrase? A lot of times people try to answer questions that they just don't get it because they're afraid to admit they don't get it. Attorneys ask poor questions. Yes, Dr. Shapiro. I don't understand is one of them. Yes. I hate when an attorney asks a bad question and someone tries to go in there because they don't know what they're saying. Just say, could you please rephrase? Or give them a specific piece of information. Just very simple. Never object to a question that you're being asked. Let counsel do that. Never argue with the other side. You guys are professionals. You're likable. Let us argue with the other side. Let the other side look like the bad guy. You guys, you're doing your jobs. You're helping. You're creating care for someone. You are listening to them. You're there for them. You're not doing anything. You don't need to be dragged. Don't be dragged. And please, please, please never guess an answer. If you don't know, go with answers 3 or 4. I don't know. I don't recall. So specifically, yes or no. Example, did you examine the patient? Yes. Don't go any further. It's a yes or no question. Not, yeah, I examined the patient at this time in this location. It's very simple. Did you examine? Yes. Do you know what color the light was for the patient at the time the vehicle entered the intersection? No. You were told what color. I don't know. The answer is no. I wasn't there. Okay. I don't know. How long after the collision did the patient go back to work? I don't know. He didn't tell me. Or if they did tell you, then you tell them. Did the patient ever tell you that they were unable to play the piano after the collision? I don't know. He might have. I just don't. I have no recollection of that. Don't guess. It's okay. Again, attorneys who came into this profession, our profession came from writing long sentences. Once the patient, and some people love to sound smart, and it makes them sound less smart when they try to use big words and sound lofty. So someone says, once the patient entered the establishment, the patient engaged in fluctuations inconsistent with the limited variances identified in their history of presenting symptoms. I understand. Can you please rephrase?
All right. I think we get it, Mark. We got about another 2 or 3 minutes.
Sorry.
I love this exercise, though.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, next question.
I want to make sure that we get down.
I'm going to hit it real quick.
Okay.
This is really important. Expert versus percipients.
Perfect. This is what I wanted you to do.
If someone says, I want you to be deposed, you say, I want to know what you're paying me because I am an expert. Well, I'm only paying you $35 because you're a percipient. No. I'm not showing up. If you want, you can file a motion to compel. If they file a motion to compel, that motion to compel will require them just to read their documents and do nothing else. If you look at the Code of Civil Procedure, a document can be read and that will make you a percipient. You got $35 fee. If you are giving opinions about past or future or about diagnoses or treatment, you are an expert and you are entitled to your fees. Establish that. And if they have to get an order, the order will say you will just read. Let's see here. Let's go through quickly. Your fees should be reasonable, customary. There are a couple of places you can look around. I did a little bit of searching online. I did see there's an entity online that says about 300 to 700 is a national average. We're probably a little higher here in California. If you haven't done testimony, do a little research, ask some of your brethren what they charge, what they think is reasonable, especially if you've done several depositions. Ethical considerations, know the HIPAA laws, know your obligations professionally. Never change your records without making it clear that you have amended the records. Always make that known. Be honest in your responses. Don't ever try to fluff over something. Please do not pre-negotiate liens because that will affect the value of your bills. Do not ask attorneys to approve medical treatment as part of your practice. Talk to people about what the limits are, but do not rely on the attorney to make medical decisions. And be careful in describing your bills and your modalities with your CPT codes. If it's a multiple CPT code modality, make sure there are multiple treatments versus if it's a single CPT code for modalities. Just be consistent. Know that your billers are putting your information out there. So you just want to make sure that they're doing it correctly. You're not trying to sneak anything. When it comes to liens, do you ever discount a lien? Possible answers. Some providers will say, my front office handles it. If that's true, that's a great answer. Sometimes they'll say, yeah, we do deal with this, but I don't discount liens. I discount bills. It's not just because it's a lien, it's a bill. And I do that with any accounts receivable, just like any other business. We discount our bills with insurance, health, work comp, Medicare, and cash patients. Regardless of the outcome, I know the client is going to be fully responsible, and we work it out on a case-by-case basis. So it's not, don't let them frame it, this is a lien, and they're going to get some sort of discount because it's a lien. Guys, it is a privilege. I am so proud and thankful to be here with you all. And thank you for allowing me this, Dr. Phil. I appreciate you so much, guys.
Oh, man, that was awesome. That was so content rich today. We were drinking out of a fire hose here. I'm going to take your, well, obviously, as you see, Marc is super accessible. Scan his QR code or take down the phone number. You could see it there on the screen. I'm going to take down the presentation really quick. There we go. We're back. But definitely appreciate you coming on and talking with us about this. Is a super important topic, and I know that there's a lot of people that don't know all they should know about this, that and maybe they're even nervous about, what would happen if I get called into a deposition. And that's okay. Talking with someone like yourself or someone here in the association about what that looks like, that's the first step, and I think if anything, this was just a little taste of what to expect next week, right? And so
we'll be there next Saturday. We're going to be talking about this for an hour. And we're going to show some clips from real depos. And we're actually going to do depos outside. And I've got a court reporter. You're going to get a transcript. So anybody who wants to be deposed for a few minutes, we're going to be glad to give you that experience. You'll actually have a transcript, see how you look on paper. Thanks again. We love collaborating with this wonderful organization. So many cool people I see in the queue as friends and familiar and real good colleagues. Thank you so much, guys.
Well, before we give away the money, try to give away the money, let's just remind everybody, put up that QR code for the PI conference coming up June 21st, Huntington Beach. Sounds like there's going to be a lot of cool stuff down there to interact with, to experience, to network with people, to collaborate with people like Marc. So super excited for that event and looking forward to it. So let's bring up the wheel and try to give away some money today. I believe we have, is it $700 this week that we're going to try to give away? Usually people let me know in the chat and they help me keep track of everything, which means we're going to do seven names. So let's do the first name. Dave Basista. I know him. Dave Basista. Oh my gosh. His wife, Grace, has been such a foundation of our Santa Clara chiropractic community. She has done so much to help carry forward our district and this association, quite frankly. Oh, I'd love to see if they were on here. I don't know if anybody can reach out to them, tell them that that Dave's name's been selected. TJ, hit up Grace in the group chat. Let her know that she won, but it doesn't look like she was here in time to claim her money. So we'll just wait another few seconds because I know the chat's on delay. Oh, thank you. The Chiro Pug is here helping me keep track of names, but it doesn't look like Dave Basista was here. So let's do name number 2. Jennifer Rodriguez. Jenna is my intern. She's a student of mine. She's in my office as we speak. She's been doing a tremendous job as a preceptor from Life West Chiropractic College. Oh my gosh, Jenna, you just won $700. Oh my God. I feel like I should text her. If any of my staff are on here, let her know that she just won $700. Oh my goodness. That would be a game changer for Jenna. Oh gosh. That I don't see her in the chat and I don't see a response. We'll just wait another few seconds. Oh, this is going to be pandemonium in my office here tomorrow. So, all right. It looks like name number three. Name number three. Daniel Kazarian, you are name number three. It's great to see Chuck here. Chuck, nice to see you, buddy. Hopefully we can get some more of those San Diego folks to start joining us. I didn't see Dr. Doss on here today. Maybe TJ can hit him up and see if he's out there. I didn't see him in the chat, but he's been a faithful listener, and he's always been a good supporter of our broadcast, our association, all the content that we're putting out. Really appreciate the San Diego group, kind of coming back online for us. And as a reminder, please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Let's do name number 4. It looks like name number 4, and I'll keep talking about that in just a moment. Possession. Man, they're challenging me with my pronunciation today. But let's see if Maggie's on the chat. I don't know Maggie. Hopefully someone can reach out to her and let her know that she won some money. But yes, please like and subscribe on the broadcast, or like and subscribe to the broadcast if you could. If you haven't yet, that's how you'll know when we come online. We've been doing some special podcasts or broadcasts on Tuesday. We just did one last week with Dr. Kent Choi, who I see is on our chat here today. Thanks for joining.
Maggie's here.
Yeah, I see him. Yeah. And we are going to do another one next week. Oh my gosh. Maggie is here. Maggie won the money. All right. I always love when we give away the money. That's awesome. Very cool. So Maggie, you are the winner of $700. Maggie, I'd love to meet you sometime, and I would love to have you join us at one of our events. Please come up and introduce yourself. Congratulations on winning the money and watching our broadcast. Thanks again, Marc, so much for being on here. And
thank you so much, Doc.
We will be back next week with a new guest and more money to give away, but the clock will reset to $300. So I know hopefully everybody's happy for Maggie. I know I see some tears. Dr. TJ, I see some tears. And the Chiropug, but we'll have more chances. We'll get some more folks like Marc on here to help sponsor the broadcast. Thanks again, Marc.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a great week.
All right, guys. See you next time.